Welcome back, friends, to this brand new Techhandy course on VMware vSphere 7. If you're interested in VMware virtualization, you're in the right place. In our last video, we installed 4 ESXi hosts inside VMware Workstation Pro. We also configured our Windows Server 2019 domain controller with DNS and DHCP roles, created forward and reverse DNS entries for each host, and set up DHCP reservations to make sure every ESXi host receives a consistent IP address. With that foundation ready, we can now log into our first host and start exploring ESXi's configuration options. Let's begin by logging into our first host, Node 01, using the Direct Console User Interface, also known as the DCUI. This is the console screen that appears when you open the virtual machine directly inside VMware Workstation. Press F2 to enter into the machine. Then log in using the root username and password that you set during installation. The DCUI provides several important configuration and troubleshooting options, so let's review them one by one. First, we have Configure Password, which allows you to change the root password for the host. Next, Configure Management Network. This is where we define the network settings for the management interface, including IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS servers, and hostname. We also have options to restart management network and test management network. These are useful for verifying connectivity or restarting network services if you make changes to your network configuration. The network restore options allow you to reset management networking back to default settings if you lose connectivity due to misconfiguration. Under Configure Keyboard, you can change the keyboard layout for the local console if needed. Next, we have troubleshooting options, which allow you to enable or disable services such as SSH and ESXi shell. These are useful for command line troubleshooting and advanced configuration. You can also view system logs, which display various log files for networking, storage, and other subsystems directly from the console. The View Support Information option provides details such as the host's version, build number, hardware, and network settings, helpful when opening support tickets. Finally, the Reset System Configuration option will wipe all configurations and restore the host to its default factory state, something to use with caution. Now, let's configure the management network on Node 01. Under Network Adapters you can see the state of your physical network adapters, also labels and MAC address. You can configure VLAN under VLAN option based on your company network. Under IPv4 configuration, change the network setting from DHCP to static IP address and assign the reserved IP that we configured earlier. Next, go to IPv6 configuration and disable IPv6 since we're not using it in this lab. Then review the DNS configuration to make sure the correct DNS server IP and hostname are listed. You can customize these settings based on your environment. Lastly, verify DNS suffixes is correct according to your domain. Repeat the same configuration steps for your other ESXi nodes, adjusting the IP address for each host accordingly. Press Escape key and it will ask you to confirm and apply the changes. In some cases you might need to reboot the ESXi server after making network changes. Once the management network is configured, we can now access Node 01 from a web browser. Open your browser and type in node IP. Accept the warning and continue login, since we didn't configure certificate. Log in with the root credentials. This will open the ESXi host client, a web-based interface that lets us manage and configure the host directly. Inside the web console, we'll find many of the same settings we saw in the DCUI, including networking, storage, and system options. You can also manage virtual machines, create data stores, and monitor resource usage from here. While we're here, let's also look at how to add or update the license key. Go to Manage Licensing, and from there, you can enter a new key or continue using the evaluation license. Under lockdown mode, you can limit the direct DCUI user's access for security reasons. It's disabled by default. You can also monitor system resources, events, tasks, logs, and notifications on the current host. Storage section can help to identify storage adapters and attached storage disks to this host. Under networking, you can perform similar tasks that we just reviewed under DCUI Direct Console User Interface. But it will give you more advanced graphical view. You can review and update hostname and DNS configurations under default TCP/IP stacks. We are not making any further network changes here, since we manage all nodes configurations under vCenter in next coming videos. Next, let's set up time synchronization. NTP is critical for VMware ESXi hosts to ensure accurate timestamps in logs for troubleshooting, correct authentication via Kerberos, valid certificate operation, proper functioning of virtual machines, VMs, and reliable operations like snapshots and vMotion. Without NTP, inaccurate timekeeping can lead to broken authentication, invalid certificates, and significant problems with VM performance and data consistency. In the web interface, navigate to manage system time and date. We are going to set NTP service start and stop with host. Select Use Network Time Protocol, NTP, and add your preferred NTP server address. For example, we are setting global NTP server pool.ntp.org. You can set based on your company internal NTP source. Enable the NTP service and start it. This ensures your ESXi host's time remains accurate, which is crucial when joining to vCenter or Active Directory later. Repeat the same NTP setup for all your other ESXi hosts. Now let's take a quick look at SSH and the ESXi shell, which allow you to manage the host from the command line. From the web console, go to Host and then Actions and look for Services, the ESXi shell, and SSH, the SSH service. You can start or stop these services directly from here. The same options are also available from the DCUI under Troubleshooting Options. To test connectivity, I'll first open the console shell directly from DCUI, then switch to PuTTY, a popular SSH client. Download and install PuTTY, enter the host IP address, 10.20.30.101, and connect using your root credentials. This provides full command line access to your ESXi host. Once you save setting, go back to your main DCUI screen, then hold down Alt and press F1. In some devices you might need to hold Function key as well. That will take you to the ESXi shell. You can log in with same root credentials. To go to main DCUI screen again after, hold down Alt and push F2. For SSH, I have already downloaded the PuTTY. Let's install and connect to ESXi host using PuTTY. Provide host IP address and ensure the port, then connect. Accept the license certificate and log in with the root credentials. You can run all general Linux commands under here. Before we wrap up, let's review how to configure system logs to be sent to a remote Syslog server. In the web interface, go to Manage System Advanced Settings, and look for the parameter syslog. The most important among them is syslog.global.log host. You can configure Syslog server and ensures that logs from each host are collected centrally for easier monitoring and troubleshooting. There is useful Broadcom link for understanding Syslog further. I will left the link in description of this video as well. That completes the basic configuration and review of our ESXi hosts. We've explored the DCUI options, set static network settings, configured DNS, enabled NTP, verified SSH access, and prepared the environment for centralized logging. In the next video, we'll take the next big step, installing and configuring the VMware vCenter Server Appliance, or VCSA, which will allow us to manage all 4 of our ESXi hosts from a single console. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's continue building our VMware vSphere 7 lab together, right here on Techhandy.